Welcome, everyone. We'll call the meeting of the Madison City Commission to order for the meeting of June 25th, 2012. Jeff, would you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Delzer,
Here.
Commissioner Erickson.
Here.
Commissioner Waldner,
Here.
Commissioner Abraham,
Here.
Mayor Hexum.
Here. Yeah, the minutes of the June 18th meeting is a part of your record. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes of the last meeting?
Excuse me, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
on the topic of, let's see, the joint city-county meeting, is that the right date? You know, it's about the fifth paragraph down. Next meeting date is July 19th. The next paragraph, I state that you'd like to have the banner study done by July 18th.
The correct date of that meeting is July 18th, Wednesday, July 18th, 7:30 a.m.,
Okay,
the Second Street Diner.
then I will correct those minutes.
Okay, good point. Yes, I wrote that down on my calendar, and I had it written somewhere else too, but that,
And did we specifically say July 18th for the banner study, or we were just hoping to get it before that meeting? I don't know if we're not requiring them to a specific date.
no,
Okay.
I think that we would make the inquiry to
Yeah,
Banner
we're gonna try and have a
for
price
an
number.
estimate.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
Estimate to update that study. It's gonna take a while to update that
Yeah.
study. Don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
But to get a proposal from Banner.
Yeah, a
And
bid
and
for
Chad
it.
is already working on that. Okay, everybody clear on that?
Yep.
Okay.
Very good.
Any other questions or comment on the minutes of the June 18th meeting? If not, could I have a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the minutes as amended of the June 18th meeting. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. You have the agenda for this meeting before you. Are there any changes to the agenda?
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Motion is made and seconded to approve the agenda as prepared. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have one item listed under appearances, acknowledgements, and correspondence. Number one is to acknowledge the May investment report, the bills for ratification, and the gross salaries.
Make a motion to acknowledge the May investment report, bills for ratification, gross salaries.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we acknowledge the May investment report, bills for ratification, and the gross salaries. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have no items listed under old business. Under new business, we have several items. Number one is to authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with South Dakota Department of Transportation regarding the airport AWAS number 3 system. Let's see.
I think most
Do
of
we
this
have
was
any-
done before I got on here, but it looks like it's 100% reimbursable from state funds.
Yeah, it'd be the-
Upgrade to the weather information system.
Yeah, it's just the maintenance fee essentially for that.
Okay.
So I would make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with South Dakota DOT for the airport AWAS number 3 system.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to authorize the mayor to sign the agreement with South Dakota Department of Transportation for the airport AWAS number 3 system. And that stands for All-Weather Observation System. Am I correct? Okay.
Pretty
In case you're-
close, yeah.
In case you're not familiar with the AWAS system that we have out there. Okay? Any questions or speaking? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 2 Review bond tax compliance procedures. Jeff, I think we'll turn to you for this one.
Okay. This document is presented to you upon the recommendation of our bond attorney, who has been working with the city on the SRF funding that is occurring for our water improvement project. You may recall, we're getting close to closing on the loan for that project, and very close, actually. And the SRF, which stands for State Revolving Loan, is actually a bond, is considered tax exempt financing, and is therefore comes under all the rules and regulations as would a municipal bond issue that the city would offer. And this is coming about as a result of, according to our bond attorney from Minneapolis, as a few years ago, you may recall, the president's stimulus package, part of that included what were called Build America bonds. The city did not take part in any of those. We had no need to, but really that was a little bit complicated, but it gave the purchaser of the bonds a taxable rate and allowed the city to pay a tax exempt rate, and then the federal government chipped in the difference. And anyway, the IRS at that time thought that because these Build America bonds were somewhat unusual, they wanted anybody who issued those bonds to know exactly what the rules were for compliance after the fact. In other words, there are monitoring issues that have to be done basically on the finance officer's part after the bonds are issued, which again, this SRF is considered a bond issue. And the regulations, the restrictions that are placed on the city to monitor this are no different than they've always been. It's just that this is spelled out in writing. Anyway, the IRS, because of these Build America bonds, felt, it's really a good idea for a city to have these procedures in place so that the finance officer and the city know exactly what the compliance procedures are or restrictions and regulations are. Things like that within 6 months you have to have spent like 5% of the proceeds. All the proceeds of the bond have to be spent within 3 years. You can't take the proceeds of the bonds, put them in the bank, and make a higher interest rate than what you're paying on the bonds. It's called arbitrage. Obviously, in this interest rate environment, that's not going to happen. But it has been an issue in the past. You've got to make sure that the beneficiaries of this project can only be a government, can't be any private business. That can be an issue on certain types of bond issues. Obviously, this won't, because it's benefiting the city and the water supply. It's only the city that's benefiting from this. I'll take, for instance, our generation plant that we built here a few years ago. That was determined that the beneficiary of that, in addition to the city, was Basin Electric. Basin Electric is a taxable issue, therefore the bonds are taxable bonds. There are certain restrictions like that I need to, or the finance officer needs to keep an eye on, and basically this is just putting that in writing, is all it is doing. And according to our bond attorney, it looks good. It isn't something we have to do, but if we ever had an audit by the IRS, they would look more favorably on us if we had these policies in place. So basically, that's all these are.
And David Jenks has signed off on all of the provisions of the... Oh, hi, David, thank you for coming.
He has them sitting in front of him right now.
We're talking about the bond tax compliance procedure, so...
I have seen the documents. I have not signed them yet. I've seen the electronic copies.
Do you need time to review or sign or?
I need time to sign, but I have already reviewed.
Okay.
Again, Mayor, the documents themselves there have nothing to do with
Right,
these procedures.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
These procedures are just on my part, that
This
if
is
we
just a-
issue these bonds, I have to keep good records.
So this is information for us. We don't need a motion or
I
authorization?
would like a motion for you to adopt
Okay.
these procedures, but again, these have nothing to do with Dave signing off on the bonds
Oh, okay,
themselves.
okay.
This is the compliance side.
Right.
This is
And this would
between,
really apply to any bond issue that we ever do.
Right,
For the
exactly.
IRS, yeah.
Basically-
Whether it's a state revolving fund or whether it's an IRS.
I've had to do all this stuff anyway.
so this protects you and the city and the auditor?
Pretty much.
Maybe.
IRS.
Well, it's supposed to protect the IRS mainly because it's supposed to maintain that we're complying with the issuance of tax exempt bonds because taxpayers are deducting the interest on their income tax, and that's what they're trying to get at.
Okay.
Jeff, my question would be, is this gonna be, if we adopt these, is this gonna be something that you're gonna get dinged on by the audit? I mean, is our independent audit's gonna ask whether we've complied with these?
He might, I don't know
Are we-
if you will or not, but we do comply.
We do with
all
it
of
anyway,
this.
so
do
we
it
should-
anyway.
okay, I just wanna make
So
sure.
if we don't, we have an issue. that
Okay.
we should be
Okay.
complying with them.
Okay.
So I guess if we do get dinged by the auditor, we probably deserve it.
We deserve it because we aren't doing what we're supposed to be doing. Okay.
I make a motion that we adopt the bond tax compliance procedures.
Second.
Okay, the motion is made and seconded that we adopt the bond tax compliance procedures as proposed and explained for part of the procedures for the city of Madison. Any questions or speaking to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 3, we have bills for approval and bills for ratification.
Make a motion to approve and ratify the bills.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve and ratify the bills as presented. Any questions or speaking to that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion is carried. New business number 4, review fuel agreement with Lake County. Again, Jeff, do you want to give a brief explanation? This is an annual procedure here, but.
Yes. And for the benefit of Commissioner Waldner, we share the fuel system with Lake County. Or actually, they own the fuel system, and we use it to fill all the city vehicles.
Got it.
And for that service, then we pay an administrative fee to them, per gallon fee. And that then allows them to upgrade the equipment and record keeping and that type of thing. And they bid out the fuel from fuel dealers, and they get the pumps filled up, and then we have a card system. Whenever we take a vehicle out there, they just roll in a card, and then it charges it to that vehicle. So we get documents every month showing how much each one of the vehicles went through in
Yep.
fuel. And anyway, I have some good news that our fee actually went down. It was 7 cents and it's now 6 cents for the next year. So,
Was
this,
that a result of your saying that the county had too much money in the bank?
I know, maybe they felt guilty.
I just wondered.
Right. I don't know why. It just came over this way. It said, your fee
Well,
went
let's
down.
quit talking about this and vote on it before they change their mind.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
that's
thi-
nice that the county deals with having to buy it and everything else for us too, so that's nice that they do that.
Yes, I did talk to the school a few months ago too, and they were kind of wondering how we bought fuel. So I told them they should talk to the county, and I don't know if they're buying fuel out there now too or not.
I'll move the approval of the fuel agreement for between the city of Madison and Lake County.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the fuel agreement between the City of Madison and Lake County. Any questions or speaking? I guess, Fred, you have the most vehicles in your department. Everything is okay and everything works good from your standpoint?
Yeah, it works out very well for us.
Okay. Well, it's a nice joint venture that we can share and not have duplication of facilities and provisions of that way, so. Okay, with that then, all in favor of that motion, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. We have some personnel recommendations on the agenda. What are your wishes?
I'd make a motion to approve the personnel as presented.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded that we approve the personnel recommendations as presented. Any questions or speaking? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried. Unless there are announcements, that completes the regular order of business for this meeting. If there is nothing in the announcements category, we are prepared to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no. Motion is carried.